Now that I'm out of the other end of this, and I know what happened, I can explain it to you ahead of time. So hello from the future. I do a lot of stuff in here that's useful, but I do a lot of stuff in here in kind of a roundabout way. A lot of it takes me a second to kind of figure out what the best way is to do it. So look, it's not the most straightforward tutorial, but I'll do my best to mark the places where the really solid tips are. And if you just follow through the rest, maybe you'll learn something else extra as well. So let me give you a problem and the solution. The problem is that the video quality on some of the stuff we have is very bad, and the subs are hard-coded in. So we can't actually, you know, just put those onto the better RAWs. I do have better RAWs for World Downtown Headline News. They're not great, but they are, you know, much, much better. The subs themselves are actually not amazing on this either. They're pretty rough. But nobody can do anything about that unless we have them soft, right? So we need to soften these subs. We need to remix them and do them soft. So let's open up Aegisub. You're going to want to, well, either be familiar enough with Aegisub that you don't need my help, or you're going to want to probably use the same kind of hotkeys and things that I have. I have another video about getting that set up. So let's take our subbed episode into Aegisub here. Scroll up a bit just to make that bigger. Let's just get a line down so we can see what we're doing with the text here. Subbed by Fly Day Chinatown. Now the eagle-eyed viewers will notice that that is way too big. So let's go in here. Always go for bold. We're going to align it to the bottom center by default. Let's give it a bit more vertical padding just to keep it up off the kind of edge of the video there. Now this size is resolution dependent. I think probably 20 is what works for this. Yeah, 20, 22, somewhere in there. But look, they're soft. We can change it later. It doesn't matter if we get it perfect right now. So let's just set it to 20. I'm going to middle click drag, and that's going to let me scrub around the waveform here. I'm going to then frame step. I have Q&E set up. Hopefully you have the same. If not, you know what you're doing already. Set the in point. Let's find where that subtitle disappears. Frame step over. Set the out point. And there we go. That first line is matched. Now here's the next line there. So the way the default that you have with Aegisub is that if you press enter, it will make a new line butting up against the out point of your last line. So in our case, that should work out. There we go. So now we just have to type in, how is everyone? This is a news show. You know what I think I might do actually? Let's change this style and give it like more vertical padding, because I can't read the other subs while I'm typing this. That way, look, they'll float for now, but we know we can bump them down once we're done. So this is a news show that introduces many things from around the world. And again, this can all be tweaked later. But a bit more padding should make things... Look, as font sizes go, we're pretty close there. I'm happy enough with that. Okay, so by default, it looks like Giles has black text all the way through. I wonder if the others have other colors. Aha, they do. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. So we've got the start of this line happening. Look, it changes. I don't know why I put it to the screen. No one can see that. This is the previous line. That's the current line. And they change exactly in sync. So we'll go forward till we find the end of this line. And again, we're not listening to the audio right now because we're not worried about second guessing. There we go. We'll do enter to get a new line. I'm the anchor, Gilles Besson. Out point, enter to make a new line. So hopefully you guys you can keep up and see what's happening there, right? Like, so I just created this new line here. Here, I'll start over. So I just finished this line. I typed it in. I set the in and the out points. I can check them by going back and forth. and it disappears. So I'm the anchor Gilles Besson. That's my soft sub. I'm the anchor Gilles Besson. Down here is the hard sub. And when I step forward 1 frame, they both disappear, which means my timing is correct. This next line starts at the very next frame after the end of this one. So all I have to do to get my new line now is press enter, and I get a blank line that starts by default at the next frame from the previous one. So around 400 years ago on this day, Musashi and Kojiro had their legendary sword fight, that should be 2 words, at Ganryuji. So again, this is back to the previous line, onto the current line, and you see they change in sync. So now we find the end of the line we just typed. So when this disappears, we'll know we're at the end. So I'm going to drag to find it roughly. There it is, around there. I'll drop close enough, and now I'll use the frame step to find exactly the end. So that's the line I just typed, right? Around 400 years, around 400 years. I'm now going to set the end point, because look, if I go back and forth, I'm on the frame that this is done at. The frame after this frame is the next line. So be on the last frame, set the out point, and there you go. That's synced up. Enter to make a new line on the following frame. What's happening around the world today? Find the end. Set the end point. Enter for the new line. Let's ask our panel. See, you don't have to check every time. Once you get confident, you'll know they're lined up. Enter for the new line. First, let's turn to our economic analyst. Analyst is the word I'm trying to say. I don't know why typing it out slow, I start to say analyst from New York, Georgian. Hi, Georgian.
ニューヨーク在住の経済アナリスト、ジョージアン・アフシン。Hi, George.
Hi, Shiru. I really like World Downtown headline news. So, this is now different than what we've done up until now. This is the last frame of that line, line 7 down here, right? I don't know why I pointed at the screen. Now, if I go next, if I step forward, there's no sub yet. So if we press enter to make a new line, you'll see we've got a line where there's nothing. So you can either press enter and then find the actual start and set the end point. Let's just type it in. Hi, Shu. And that works. Or, I'll delete this and we'll start back over. You can, without pressing enter first, so we don't have the next line. The last line we made is this last one back here, right? We'll find the start, find the first frame, and I have got a hotkey set up where if I press insert, it makes a new line at the current frame. Hi, shoot. See? So that would be my recommendation, but either way works. You can either press enter to make it after the end of the last one and butting up against it, retime the start, or you can just go to the start and insert. Now, like most of the hotkeys I'm using here, you probably have to set these up specifically. I mean, they have defaults, but I don't know what they are. So this is now on the very next line. It butts up, so we can do this. Thanks for asking me to join you on the inception of this great show. So that's the pattern. You're literally just matching what's already been subbed. So make a new line. Thanks for coming. Type it in, find the out point. So I'm setting the out point at the end of my own line. I'm looking for the one down below to end. There we go. Enter for a new one because it's the next line. We're awaiting your sharp analysis of economical news. I don't know if I agree with that translation 100%, but look, we're not here to second guess the translation. We're not here to do anything except, for now, match these subs. Notice I'm leaving the colors. We could go in and make a new style and set that up. But there's also a tool in Aegisub to go through and like do that line by line later. I think I might. I guess I'll show you how to do the style if you want to do the style. Look, neither is more valid. You can work in passes where you could do a pass where all you're doing is timing, and then you could do the next pass where you actually go through and set the colors, and then maybe another pass where you fine tune stuff that you want to change. But let's make a new style. So we'll go to Subtitle Styles Manager here. Now the only one I've got right now is default, right? So we'll make a copy of that, and we'll name it Georgian. So there's Georgian. And now on all of his lines,
Hi, George.
Hi.
hi, Jiru. We'll set his style. And they've set it to be this, I don't really like that green at all. Like not even a little bit. Let me actually copy over one of my, so in the original Gaki no Tsukai stuff, not the originals, but in Gaki no Tsukai stuff, Jose is green, right? Let's borrow those colors, like, so if I go to Jose, yeah, I like that. So let's make this actually, let's just copy the Jose style and use it as for Georgian, right? Because it's a decent green already. And you'll notice actually the shadow has a little bit of tint as well. It's slightly saturated. I kind of like that. So what do we have? The size was like 20, 15, 15. I think we had 15, 15, 15 for the offsets there. And these were 2 and 2. Now that scale is wrong. Because the Gaki no Tsukai raws that I work with are anamorphic. This has to be squeezed in to make it work, but this is 1:1 pixel aspect ratio. So this will set to 100. And we'll just delete that, and we'll rename the Jose style. Is that how you spell it? G-H-O-R-C-H-Y-A-N. There.
Hi, Jiru.
Hi, George.
Hi, Jiru.
Cool. So now we'll go ahead and we'll set his lines just here. Oh, oops. I forgot that I had to have my vertical margin set really high so I could see both. And I know this may not look super legible right now, but again, we can tweak the shadow and everything later on to make it work out. Of course. And that's the last Georgian line that we...
鋭い剣を期待してるよ。
ああ、もちろんさ。
そして
Okay, now it looks like this butts up against it. So enter for a new one.
そして
Youth org chairperson Natalia Batsarova. Hi, Natalia. This is not Georgian. We'll still go back to default.
そして世界青少年の会議長バザロバ・ナタリア。はいナタリア。
Hi, Shiru. She needs her own, so we'll copy over Endo's for her. Styles manager. I think Endo's yellow, right? I guess Endo's kind of an orange. I like it better than this, like, total yellow, so we're going with that. 20. That was like 80, I think, just to give the room for now. Set this to 100. 2, 2. And that'll be... Oops, sorry, gotta rename it. Natalia.
ナタリア。はいナタリア。
Those butts, so we can press enter to make a new one. Hi, Jill.
ナタリア。
Hi, Jiru.
はい。
Hi, Jiru.
Set the endpoint. enter for the next line, back to default. You look beautiful as usual. I think there should be a comma here. I don't think it's a problem for the subtitles. Actually, I'm fine with that.
相変わらず綺麗
I'm not going to be able to help myself from making a few corrections as we go through this. Find the end, hit the end, this but so we can press enter for the new one. Back to Natalia style. Thanks. I want to focus on the energetic eyes of Asian children. Oh, that's right. She's all about children's eyes, isn't she?
ありがとう。
You'll notice the line breaks aren't matching up precisely. That's because the text isn't quite the right size. That's okay. Again, this is something that we would sort out later. For the moment, the most important thing is just get the timing right,
アジアの子供
and then once we put it over
生きる姿に注目したいわ。
the better raws. All right, here's a floating line. We're gonna fix that. So here's where the repair is gonna start to happen, right? Like I say, just sub what's there, but this is an easy fix. So her
エネ
line
ルギッシュに生きる姿に注目したいわ。
should end when that camera cuts. That should be the end of it. This will be the next line, starting at the camera cut, which is... Who's blue?
練習しとんなこれ
Hamada's blue. Of fucking course it's Hamada. We can just copy his actual style over. 20. Like 80. 2, 2. Subject to change. Figure it out later. 100 scale X.
したいわ。
練習しとんなこれ
注目したいわ。
練習しとんなこれ
All right, yeah, we're gonna fix some of this. Look, you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna put Hamada's line somewhere else so that we don't have these doubling up. That's about where Hamada's line ends.
練習しとんなこれ練習しとんなこれ君らしい練習しとんなこれ君らしいとってもキュ
I'm just trying to decide what to do with this now. We'll start his excellent here too.
練習しとんなこれ練習しとんなこれ君らしい練習しとんなこれ君ら練習しとんなこれ
That's where we'll start his. I'm gonna split this up now. That's such a cute opinion.
練習しとんなこれ君らしいとっても
Is there a bit of a gap there? Oh my god, it's control scroll to zoom in, sorry. Sorry guys, this is getting messy. Excellent. So what's going to happen basically is Hamada's, I'll probably duplicate this style, and we'll make this like Hamada talking over. Copy. And we would just basically align it somewhere else. Similar to what we do when there's like a picture-in-picture at the top right on like a main episode. I know it looks messy with all the oh, that's new. Oh shit, how do I do that? Oh my god, you can middle click drag the video to, oh that's right, it's the build that I'm using does that. Okay, sorry. Can I like, there we go. So when it looks messy now, but once we've got the raw under there, it'll be cleaner.
君らしいとってもキュート
So we've now got That's Such a Cute Opinion as the second half of that line. I've split it.
流行ったよこれ君らしいとってもキュートな意見だねかなり流行ったよこれ今度食事でも一緒にどうだい
There's a line that gets missed from Hamada in there, maybe. I'm not
君
sure.
らしいとってもキュートな意見だねかなり流行ったよこれ今度食事でも一緒にどうだい
そう
君らしいとってもキュートな意見だねかなり
The cute opinion should end there. New line. Let's do lunch sometime.
かなり流行ったよこれ今度食事でも一緒にどうだい今度食事でも一緒にどうだい
That should end with this cut.
そうね
どうだい
そう
I'll start her line where it makes sense to start it, which is where she starts talking. Now, again, if you don't want to do this, you can just straight copy the in and out points that are already there. But apparently I just can't help myself.
そうね考えとくわ
I should end that there, because then there's a cut.
そして
That's where I would expect this line to start. So yeah, look, you don't have to do this. You can, if you are just copying the subs exactly as they are down already, this should be like not that much slower than watching it. Like maybe it takes twice the time it would take to watch the episode. So this is what, like a 20-minute long? I'm sure it shows somewhere on here. 17 minutes. So 17 times 2. So it shouldn't take you that long. You could be done with this inside of an hour, I bet, if you just blitz through really quickly and all you did was copy the lines exactly. Like I said, I can't help myself, so I have to do them slightly better or slightly more to my preference. So I'm just going to do a bit of that for a while. And if I run into anything interesting, I'll let you know.
そして
So there are lines here. They're saying something to each other. If I were typesetting for real, I would put in, you know, placeholders and somebody else could translate those. But because I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in translating this, I won't do that yet. I'm just going to be focusing on typesetting and adjusting what's already there. All right, that's about 4 minutes in, and it took 48 minutes. So that's also including outtakes and stuff. So I have a thing I have to go do, but I will come back. I keep working on this. Sure I could time lapse it out or something. But I'll be back. Okay, I did it. So I did all of it. Based on the count I'm seeing in Premiere with everything so far, probably about, I don't know, spent about 2 hours doing it. So I guess my initial estimate might have been a little bit off as far as how long it would take. That being said, I did also like fix stuff, right? I didn't just set the lines exactly where I found them. I would actually listen, and basically I retypeset a lot of the stuff because it just wasn't sitting right with me how much delay there was between people starting to speak and the lines appearing and that kind of thing. So I definitely took my time. I'd say I could definitely do it in an hour if I still wanted to style the names and take my time and get it all just right. But maybe I had gone through a couple of these. So, I don't know, figure 4 times the runtime roughly. This is about 20 minutes to do this, so still relatively quick. Anyway, so I've got them all, but all my lines are up high, obviously, right? So let's just check it. Let's check it with the raw. So I'm going to drag the better raw in that I have now. Script resolution is 488 by 368. That's the old resolution of the subbed one. Video resolution is 512 by 384. These are all non-standard, but yeah, we'll resample the script. So our fonts will be about the same size as we kind of set them initially relative to the rest of the video. So let's zoom into a useful level of zoom here. Okay. Let's go through all of our styles and get rid of that really huge vertical offset. Probably a quicker way to do this. You could almost certainly like do a find and replace just in the text, because you can open subfiles as text. But this is fine. Great. So this is the kind of shit I was fixing, right? Like, the line shows up here, but he doesn't even. So I'm subbing to the Japanese speaker, like the dubber, not the actor on it. It should start here. I mean, you can see on the waveform that's where he starts speaking. And we'll cut that at that dissolve for that first line for that credit. That one's on the edit, I think. No, we're just gonna... See, this is what I couldn't help myself from doing, and this is why it took me like 2 hours. That should change on the cut. I'm not going to fix too many more of these because, like I said, I already did this throughout most of it. Ah, shit. That just really jars me. I'm sorry. What did I do there? Oh no, hang on. I'm getting scrambled. Okay, this is the line that should start here, and that's the line that should end here.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Jill.
Okay, so the other thing we should be doing, there are signs on screen. I know it's just their name, but like, all right, this doesn't matter either. Like, none of you have to do this, but we can go in and do an override on the vertical padding to get this line up above.
皆さんご機嫌いかがですか？世界のさまざまなニュースを紹介するワールドダウンタウン。司会のジル・ベストンです。
This is the kind of stuff that you can do now, though. Like it's been softened. It used to be hard. Now we can fix this. We can go through and do this kind of thing. There's a ton of like awkward or missing translations. We can go and get all those in. That should probably be whatever. Like I said, this I don't even know why I'm still. Cool. So this has now been softened, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. We now have a soft sub for this episode. They'll have to be potentially timed if, let me find a line that I know sort of is, because it looks like there's commercials at the end of this raw, so the runtime may not be quite the same. Let me just look at one of the lines that happens on a scene change. Yeah, so that's the line that I subbed, and it's disappearing in time, which means that, look, this is probably in sync with this raw, so that's fine. So we don't have to resync anything. If you needed to, you could go into timing, shift times, and you could, you know, slide these back and forth depending on what you're trying to do. So that's that, and then we can just mux it. Just into MKV Toolnix here. I have a whole other video on how to prepare stuff to burn for Hardsubs and whatever else. So you're free to learn, or I'll answer direct questions, I suppose. So there's my new raw. There's my subs I've just made. Make sure these are correctly set to English. Those are set to Japanese. We'll rename it World Downtown #1. Getting rid of the raw because it ain't raw anymore. Multiplex. And let's just go ahead and release that in the library. I'm happy with that. Let's see, that's here. Silent library, world, downtown headline news. And I will, let's watch it first, make sure just real quick. There's missing lines all over the place. I would love for someone to come plug the gaps in this, but anyway, what I'll do now is I'll do old raws. Or old Hardsubs, I guess. And this is the new hotness here. And there we go. There we go.